West Virginia forests. They provide us with so much. Shade, beauty, a habitat for wildlife, even toothpaste. You'd be surprised at what forests give us. That's why the West Virginia Forestry Association works so hard to protect our forests.
After all, forestry is much more than just the products we get from trees.
There are jobs. Forestry employs over 30,000 people and contributes over $3 billion annually to West Virginia's economy. West Virginia landowners have made a long-term commitment to the forestry community by providing access to their privately owned property. And forestry serves as the primary economic base for several communities throughout the state.
Forestry is also the only natural resource industry that can be found in every one of West Virginia's 55 counties. Forestry also contributes a lot to our daily lives.
Think of the products we enjoy from trees.
For instance, you probably know paper comes from trees.
But do you know that wood and wood products are all around us? From the lumber we use to build our homes to the furniture we use to make us comfortable. And of course, that includes kitchen cabinets, wood floors, your grandfather clock, and some things you might not have thought of, like medicines, baby food, cleaning products, charcoal, even toothpaste.
And more. The average American uses wood and paper products equal to what can be produced from one 18-inch diameter, 100-foot tree every year. And all these products come from a source that's renewable and sustainable. Great strides have been made in our knowledge of the forests and of the creatures that live there, and we learn more every day. The members of the West Virginia Forestry Association include professional foresters and biologists who assure the diversity and the strength of our forests and wildlife.
Every tree had to start someplace. When forests are managed well, cutting trees allows for newer, stronger growth of native species. It allows plants that need sunlight the opportunity to flourish once the dense upper growth of mature trees is removed. Wildlife that browse on low-growing plants also can thrive when trees are harvested. Timber harvesting creates a condition that is critical to the habitat of many species. All of this allows our forests and those that live within them to become strong for the future.
It also assures us that we will be able to enjoy the beauty of the woods for generations to come. You know, some companies are working in forests today that have been providing wood and wood products for generations. And because of sound forest management practices, even tourism can thrive in areas where foresters are working.
The West Virginia forestry community follows some very strict regulations. In fact, West Virginia is one of just a few states with a Logging Sediment Control Act, created to make sure ground and surface water are kept free of sediment and that soil erosion is minimized during commercial timber harvesting. Strict procedures must be followed when beginning any logging operation. These include obtaining a logging license, completing a training program, filing a timbering operation notification, and posting the operation. All logging operations must be registered with the West Virginia Division of Forestry. The operations must also be supervised by someone who has completed the West Virginia Division of Forestry certification program, and certified loggers must go through retraining every 3 years. The West Virginia Division of Forestry inspects logging sites to assure compliance with the Logging Sediment Control Act. There are serious and expensive penalties for a company violating this act, from suspension of the job to license suspension to incurring substantial fines.
Another important set of guidelines comes from the Sustainable Forestry Initiative, a formal commitment by the American Forest and Paper Association to the principles of sustainable forestry and to the practices that ensure that our forests will flourish for future generations. This initiative includes workshops, education programs to allow loggers to fulfill their certification requirements, communication programs, research programs, and the adoption of sustainable forestry practices by member companies. It's also interesting to note that West Virginia is the third most forested state in the U.S., with nearly 12 million forested acres, and has over 7 million more acres of forest land than it did in 1910. We also have more wildlife than at any time since the mid-1930s. Timber harvesting can create conditions that are critical to the sustaining of many wildlife species.
So the forestry community produces the paper and wood products we rely on every day, manages the forest to make sure that our renewable resource continues to be a sustainable industry far into the future. And it does all this with strict and far-reaching environmental standards. Professional foresters work with landowners to develop new and better ways to grow trees and protect the ones already growing. Best management practices are used to make sure water is kept clear and silt and sediment are controlled. Special programs have been established for the control of wildfires, which can devastate our forests for generations.
Remember, we live here too. We enjoy the forests and fish in the streams and hunt in the woods. We have a viable growing industry, so it makes sense that we protect the very resource that makes that industry possible. Take your family hiking in the woods. Explore a nature trail and marvel at the spectacular colors. Teach your children to have a love and respect for the woods and all that it gives us, just as the forestry community does.
From the science of growing trees and protecting wildlife to the production of vital paper and wood products we depend on every day, to assuring future generations that the forest will be thriving in their time as well, West Virginia depends on the forestry community to keep our economy growing. And that's why the members of the West Virginia Forestry Association and the entire forestry community work hard to keep our forests strong. The West Virginia Forestry Association is a nonprofit organization funded by its membership. Wvfa members are concerned with protecting the environment as well as enhance and promotes forest land management, improved fire protection and suppression, true conservation, and utilization of woodland resources in West Virginia. The West Virginia Forestry Association.
Ideas that keep growing.